All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and salutations to the elect pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth in truth and in sincerity. All right, in this particular video, I want to touch on this video that you see on your screen right here. It says, food shortage. Prepare for food shortage in United States, the U.S. Farmers issue new warnings. Now, they've been issuing warnings before, all right? They've been telling you that Trump's tariff war been fucking them up, okay? They can't sell their soybeans, so forth and so on. China used to buy 80 plus to 100, almost 100%, if I believe I'm saying that correctly. But now they're buying zero, you see? And with this whole thing with the Strait of Hormuz, just not oil is being affected, and helium and other things. Also fertilizer. There's a fertilizer shortage. And farmers are blowing the whistle, and they've been blowing the whistle saying they don't have enough fertilizer to do what they have to do for the year. So they're like, yo, there's about to be a food shortage. And not just that, the whole immigration thing with ICE. Some farms have lost 100% of their workers. I'm going to say that one more again. Some farms have lost 100% of their workers. Now, when you tally all this up or add all of this up, this plus this plus this, it should equal famine, all right? Or something that initiate the famine to help initiate it, right? So the point of this video is to show you that this is in the scriptures. This also is in the scriptures, so we're going to get that. All right, so let's play a little bit of this video, and then we're going to grab some scriptures and then shut it down.
Here in the United States, we are about to experience a massive, affordable food shortage. This is something I've addressed before. Keep in mind, this is different from a food shortage where there's just no food and we experience famine. But here in the U.S.,
it's going to lead to a famine, thus saith the Lord, though.
There is an affordable food shortage that we've been experiencing, and it's only getting worse. But listen to this.
The United States government has declared a food supply emergency. Now, it's not because of a hurricane or a drought that wiped out farmland. It's because officials are finally worried about the fertilizer crisis.
And get this, it's not just a fertilizer crisis. That is part of the issue. But then we also have drought in much of the United States.
Drought, which means it's not raining. All right.
We have some severe weather where we are seeing rain or storms just completely wipe out some cities and their farmland. It is critical that we get this under control, but yet there's nothing we can really do.
Right. So some farmers are having their crops are failing through the blasting and hail and from a fearful consolation. As a matter of fact, let's grab that right here. Second Ezra's, and I created these images right here. You can do the same thing. Go to Chat GPT, go to images, and you can tweak and put in a Bible verse, and you can tweak it. Tell them take this out, add that, and all of that. But as this reads, Second Ezra's 15:13, and we read, they that till the ground shall mourn. That's talking about the farmers, right? They're the ones that till the ground. They're the ones that sow seed, right? For their seeds shall fail, so their seeds ain't going to grow. To plants, to crops. Why? Through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation, fucked up weather conditions, man. You know, through the fucked up weather conditions, hey, they're not going to be able to produce crop and shit like that, man. So some farms are saying this already, man. And a fearful consolation. You have something called the Farmer's Almanac. But, you know, they read the stars and shit to see if they're going to have a good harvest and things like that. So there you go. All right, let's hop right back in this video.
Really do. But President Trump did something. Look at this right here. It says President Trump takes action to lower fertilizer costs and support American farmers. Okay, I want to play this clip and
comparing Pokemon card values online versus this new trading card app. This Charizard number 150.
It's lucky.
I want to play this clip and he'll explain it.
Donald Trump has declared essentially a food supply emergency and has lifted all tariffs and duties on phosphate fertilizer coming in from Morocco. This news isn't being widely reported, but it's significant. Due to the war in Iran, tariffs, other trade practices, and more, the United States food supply was potentially at risk given the fact that the United States is not producing enough fertilizer. And so this week, the Trump administration signed a declaration lifting all levies and tariffs on Moroccan phosphate fertilizer for a period of up to 8 months. And in that declaration, the president admitted that the United States isn't producing enough fertilizer and American companies simply can't do it fast enough at this time. And so as a result, we're now going to start importing fertilizer from Morocco without any duties, without any taxes, tariffs, any of that. It's a pretty significant development that not many people are talking about. Spread the word so that other people know and follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about Mordecai.
Okay, so again, we are going to be buying fertilizer from Morocco. Okay, well, what does that do for us? And why are we still talking about a shortage if now we're buying fertilizer? Here's the thing, we are months late. We are so late that many farmers have already given up. I've talked about this before.
Not just giving up before that fertilizer gets here, and they do like that. First of all, they ain't got enough money to buy that shit, most of them. Let's say they did. The time ain't going, like the timing. And then they ain't got enough workers, a lot of them. So it's like what he's basically saying is it's just going to be a food shortage, man, until things like level back out. All right. Now he's about to get into some of his friends and shit like that. But you know what that's going to lead to? The Straits of Hormuz, no oil coming, no crude coming and being refined into oil. So they're saying 2 weeks, people are about to really start feeling it and all of that. That'll lead to higher food prices, and you see fertilizer shortage. That's going to aid into higher food prices. And they put ethanol in gas, which is corn. All right. So if it's higher food prices because it's low fertilizer, that's going to also raise the gas prices significantly as well. That's going to aid into that. That'll lead into what? People not being able to commute to work because they ain't got no gas. And the little bit of money that victuals that they do have, they're going to have to spend it on food, expensive ass food, or try to get a little gas so they can make it to work. You see, people going to start losing their jobs, all of that, bro. And that's going to lead to what? People spoiling houses, man. People breaking into supermarkets, man. All right. 2nd Ezra 6:22, and we read, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Now, where do you sow seed at? The farms, man. All right. They shall suddenly be what? Found, will appear unsown, which means there's going to be no crop. Look at Buddy. He's destitute. Look at him. All right. That depicts a farmer right there. Right. So if there's no animals or no crops on the farm, what does this lead to? No food going to the grocery stores, right? That's why the next verse says, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, right? You got the empty grocery stores right there, man. Or the empty shelves. You see? This is coming to a store near you. All right? And it'll lead to what? People spoiling houses. Like I said, 2nd Ezra 15:19, we read, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. That's right. You see? Right, that famine gonna have motherfuckers wilding, man. Breaking into houses, robbing it, murdering, killing, graping. You know, it talks about that in Isaiah 13. All right. So let's get back into this a little bit.
I've talked about this before, where I have a friend that he sold his family farm, or a good portion of it, because he couldn't afford to go and buy the fertilizer needed in order to actually run the farm, in order to go and plant all the crops and have the same success that he normally has every single year. He couldn't do it. The fertilizer costs were absolutely killing him. But I want to show you something else. This is an article from Forbes that says China is weaponizing fertilizer against American farmers. Now I want to read a little bit of this to you. Look at this right here. It says, Americans are learning the hard way that food security is a national security issue. A war in the Middle East, a shipping choke point thousands of miles away, or a trade policy decision in Beijing can show up in the price of bread and other staples at the local grocery store. Now, you are already seeing this, and I've been saying this for some time, where people are having an affordable food crisis, where there is no affordable options. I had a friend that went to was HEB, and one of the things that he said was, prices are normally pretty stable, but he was telling me how this HEB, like the bread that they had, they didn't have much. Their options were limited. Their shelves were fairly empty. And so he was going to get bread because he wanted to make French toast for his family the following day for breakfast. Well, the bread that he was going to buy, it was going to be cheaper if he went to actually go and buy some eggs, and he bought sausage and then bought frozen hash browns. Okay, that's what he bought, because the bread was at $8 a loaf at an HEB. Okay, think about that for a second. $8 a loaf. That's insane. And so he thought, you know what? I'm just not going to do that, because he still had to buy eggs to do, and the cinnamon and the syrup and all that. So he just bought eggs, frozen hash browns, and sausage. And it was cheaper to do that than make French toast. So that's exactly what he did. I want to keep reading this though. Look at this.
I served as a defense coordinator at UAB. We had a motto: win the day. When we hear about Alabama Power freezing their rates, that's the best news we can hear.
They're gonna play the whole damn thing too, huh?
It says fertilizer prices are rising because the global supply chain is under stress and disrupting the key ingredients needed to produce phosphate fertilizers. More than 30% of the global urea trade, about 20% of the ammonia and phosphate trade, and around half of the global seaborne sulfur trade move through the Strait of Hormuz, which has faced closures in recent months because of the conflict with Iran. And the fact that we are now going back to that, where the U.S. and Iran are striking each other, that is an issue. That is likely going to close down the Strait of Hormuz even longer, meaning fertilizer costs will go up and food prices will become more expensive. I want to show you something else though. Okay? First, before I do, I want to read this. In this comment that somebody left me, I want to read it. This is what they said, and I quote, "Can you talk about where we are with our food supply? I watched one of your videos back in March about a possible food shortage, but you haven't done an update lately. I manage a grocery store and we are seeing a shortage of options. All the beef is outrageously expensive. Most of the vegetables have gone up and we aren't even placing consistent orders. Our shelves have been pretty bare recently, and most of the comments from customers is that they want more affordable options." Okay. I've seen this. I've seen it so many times. In the comment section, over on other channels.
Well, it's happening, man. Thus saith the Lord, it's going to be a famine over here, man. All right, a famine is hitting. I believe in, Isaiah 14:13? This is when the land trespass against him grievously, he shall break the staff of bread. What does that mean? Cause a famine. All right, that's going to hit. It's going to be worse than worse than 2 Kings 6:25. A famine of Samaria, when you had the two mothers making a deal that we're going to eat my son today, and then tomorrow we're going to eat your son. What they say? What they say? So we did throw my son in a pot, and we did eat. Something like that. Damn. Said, hey, when the morrow came, that chick took her son and fled. Damn. So hey, it's gonna get worse than that. But anyway, I hope you can take something from this. I am driving. I don't want to get too distracted. But the point has been pretty much made, So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.